Hi guys, Leo here. Today I'm going to share with you some techniques and tips that I use to model this Rappier sword. First of all, I started by setting up the reference, then using the radial symmetry option. With the move tool, I tried to find the general shape of the pommel of the sword. Then to create that wave pattern, I reduced the radial symmetry count to 8, then using a standard brush with a smooth fall-off and the lazy rope stabilizer on, I draw a vertical straight line to create that pattern. Then was just adding some primitives and clone those primitives using the gizmo tool. There's a clone option on the side toolbar that when you click it, the next action that you make with the gizmo will generate a copy of the original object. Then after cloning some cylinders, I get to the handle of the sword, and was the same as the pommel. I just turn on the radial symmetry, and with the move tool I try to get the general shape of the handle of the sword. I also use a little of the standard brush to give some details that were present at the reference. Then to create the guard, that central piece of the guard, I create a cube, then I resize to match the reference, and using the trim tool, I try to get that pointy shape that it has on the reference. After that, to give a little bit more of detail, I turn on the normal symmetry, and with the flattened brush I give some bevel at the edges. Now to create the rest of the guard, I use basically the tube tool. From here is most of repetition, and you turn the view and you position the points, and you turn the radius option to get the variation that you need. So as I'm doing here, I'm enlarging the point of the cross section of the guard, the horizontal section of the guard. Then I try to draw the curvy tubes that form the guard. Here I recommend you to use the spline option of the curve, so it will give you a more rounded curve. You see that in the upper bar you have the spline. In the beginning I forgot to turn it on, and I was struggling to get good rounded curves. At some point I remembered to turn it on, then the job was a lot easier with the spline option turned on. Then from here you just cycle your view, try to position your points looking at as many angles as possible, making sure that your curves work at all angles. Other thing that I did was all the shapes, the curves that has symmetry on the x-axis, I just draw the one of the halves, then I add a symmetry modifier that can be added through the Scene tab. So after I finish to create the tubes, I join them all in one object, which automatically turned into an editable object. And using the flatten tool, I started to define the edges of each section of the sword guard. From here was just using the flatten tool to define the edges, and use the move tool to correct some of the curves that was wobbly, and really try to refine the piece as much as possible. Since the objects were just joined, not merged, you can go on the brush tab under the filter options and turn connect topology. So your brush will just affect the mesh that you started your stroke. Since this object was created by joining the original meshes, the meshes keep separated within the object. After I was happy with the detailing, I voxel merged all the objects in one to really fuse all the pieces, so I can smooth the connection points and give the aspect of a single solid piece. Hope these tips have helped. Good sculpting. Bye bye.